Hey guys, this is Ty of Tychem.
And this is Ashley Miller, founder of Koi3.
And this is Series of Conversations. Hey guys, we are back here with episode 5.
Golly, girl.
Yes, we are here with episode 5. It is a Monday out here in New York.
Yes.
It's kind of, well, I'm in New York and the weather is nice.
I was
Sun
gonna
is
say I was
shining.
actually out with someone yesterday. Did it snow there? It snowed somewhere in New York.
No, probably upstate because we had a nice weekend. It rained terribly yesterday though. So
Oh dang. I was like, didn't y'all just have like 70
Nah.
degrees weather?
Yeah, Saturday was nice. Like this, I'm just loving this weather. I hope it remains like this till summer. And then, because 2021 is not.
I know.
You just need nice weather.
Y'all in New York, I swear, it's like, why am I talking like I just wasn't living there?
I know, y'all in New York.
I don't even live there no more. It's like, what's New York? But we know how it gets. 70 degrees, it's like,
everybody's outside.
It's summertime.
Girl, listen, I got my wisdom. I got another wisdom tooth pulled out on Saturday. Mind you, I'm here. Like I'm fine.
Yes.
Saturday after getting it pulled out, I was outside. Mind you, you just by yourself and you're like, I want to do everything. I'm like, my face isn't like my tooth is not really hurting. I have my mask on.
Everything.
My mouth is numb, but I was like, should I go outside and do something? I was like, get your ass back in the house. Like, just go back home.
See, but that even brings us into amazing what we talk about today, because about the plans of what is going on out in these streets. You know what I mean? We are excited because today we're going to be talking about, the topic is gather your life. And we have BriaLynn. Bria, am I saying that right? It's BriaLynn, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Lynn is my middle name, so I don't actually go by BriaLynn. I just go by Bria. But
okay, so same with me, because I'm Ashley Michelle Miller. I stay with the whole government for the purposes. So everybody just loves, sometimes we gotta put in a little razzle dazzle and have a little middle name in there.
Exactly.
We are so excited to have Bria, because she is gonna be talking to us about not only her life and what she does to really get herself together and make plans and be productive, but about her calendar that she has out, well, actually planner that she has out, called Gather Your Life. And I'm gonna have her kind of tell us a little bit. But before we go into that, I gotta big up my girl, because we met at iFund Women of Color. We do these office hours every Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
every Wednesday we do office hours, and my girl be out here getting it. She's such an inspiration to me. And I just love seeing how everything from her being a teacher to just being dedicated and building a community and building a brand. I have just been in awe watching you do that. So go ahead, Bria, tell us a little bit more about yourself, girl.
Yeah, so I am Bria Davenport. I am the owner of By BriaLynn, which is a lifestyle brand for career queens, and I essentially empower them to master adulting and kind of rule their life. And then I'm the creator of the Gather Your Life Planner, which is a 12-month planner and guide that helps you gather your home hustle and your turn up. So yeah, I am from Durham, North Carolina.
I see the accent. You are I think you don't know our friend, but Ty does. Eric, our friend, he's from, I'm almost sure he's from Durham too, and he says it just like that, like North Carolina.
I know how he talks. Because we always are trying to curve our accent a little bit. I think that's what it is. But yes, Durham is what we call it, DURM. But that's not how you spell it, but that's how we say it. But yeah, I've lived here my whole life. I only left for school, for college, and I came right back because I had a job. Nice. But yeah, for 5 years, I have been working in the nonprofit space as an educator for middle schoolers. I coordinate programming for middle schoolers, which is fun. I have a good time. It helps me kind of feed my creative and imagination side, and then also feed my very strategy, logistical driven side too.
Yeah.
Love that. And yeah, so I do both of those at the same time. I'm always on Instagram for the most part, trying to, also make sure my life is gathered too.
Love it.
Got it. And you know what I was going to say? I was going to tell Ashley, and
as well as you, that I love that we have this virtual kind of platform now, because we're basically kind of like interviewing people from like all over, not only
Yeah.
New York. Like the way we used to do series of conversations was very limited at first, and now it's
Mm,
nice to meet, somebody else in another state, because now Ashley's even in another state, so it's not, we're
right.
all in different places, and it's kind of nice to be able to have this platform to chat on. But so nice to meet you.
Nice to
And
meet you guys too. Well,
yes.
you, I already
Oh
know
yeah.
you.
But when Ashley told me about get your life, gather your life, I said get your life
Mm-hmm.
together. That's a little bit
Same thing,
rude.
girl.
But
Same thing.
I was actually really interested because I'm a planner girl. Like even before the pandemic, I was probably like, I had two planners. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
put everything on the calendar. It was like, oh, you want to go out for brunch? Let me quickly look at my calendar. I had to cross check with
Right.
the digital calendar, and I know what planners do for me as somebody who is very active, very has a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my story. So the question I want to ask you is, what inspired you to like create these planners, create the idea, because they're not simple calendars,
Yeah.
not a simple calendar. So what inspired you to create these specifically for the community? Yeah.
Well, it was not in the plan at all to create planners. But I have always liked planners. Like in school, when they gave you like your agenda, like middle school, I think is when they really started teaching you how to plan.
Yeah.
And every year you get like an agenda. I was the main one that was using my agenda all the time, but a lot of people were not. But I always had
Overachiever.
just a little bit. But yeah, and then like in college I got more into it again. My mom bought me a Happy Planner, which is like a really big planner brand. And yeah, then I started getting back into it a little bit more from like years before. And then after I graduated college, BriaLynn is not the first business I've had. So I have had businesses since high school, just like
Wow.
come out with different things. Like,
Love that.
oh, you said you wanted to buy that? Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Gotcha.
But yeah, before by BriaLynn, I had another business called the Girlfriends Pod where I was hosting events and stuff like that. And I was still working at my current job too as well. So trying to keep up with all of those things
Mm-hmm.
in the planner. And then I just started posting my planner spread because in the planner community, that's what people do. You share what your spread looks like, all of your little 50,000 stickers that you didn't put on here
So
and your
there's a
tweets,
planner
things like that.
community.
Yeah, it's pretty large. It's
I
pretty
wish I was a
large.
part of that.
It's a really large community. If you go on Facebook, go on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, any of those things, and just put hashtag planner or planner girl or anything like that, you see all of these different women that just like they get a kick out of planning. So you could be a functional planner or just like a planner that likes to decorate and stuff like that. So before I used to be more of the planner that likes to like decorate, my
Yeah.
page, all these stickers. I have stickers behind me too, and tape on the wall. But I used to just post on Instagram that all the time, every week, just because I was like, I want to be a part of this planner community,
Yeah.
but not with any intention. And then people were DMing me. I would have girls DMing me and be like, "Hey, how you do that?" Or like, "Bria, how you keep up with all this stuff?" And then I was like, "Oh well." In my mind, I'm thinking everybody knows how to do this. I
Mm-hmm.
teach my middle schoolers how to plan. Use those what we call executive functioning skills in the
Yeah.
educational world. But like, I didn't think that adults would need assistance with knowing how to do it. So I was like, well, I'll just share here and there some tips on what I'm doing, different ways you can use your planner and stuff like that. And then one of my business friends was like, girl, you should just make your own planner. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not making no planner. I ain't doing that. Um, yeah, and then in 2019, towards the end of the year, I was like, well, I'm gonna just put out a little cute planner. And that first, I don't know where Gather Your Life came from. Honestly, it came from the Lord. I'm just gonna assume.
Praise God.
But
He'll
Exactly.
do it.
right. So then I made the first Gather Your Life planner, which was much smaller. It did not have all the sections it did right now. It was
Mm-hmm.
only 6 months long. And it had like a little small guide on how to teach you how to schedule. So that was where a lot of other ladies had issues too. They were buying planners but didn't know how to plan.
Mhm.
And they wanted me to teach them how to plan. And I'm like, girl, I got a whole job over here. I can't teach you how to plan. So I was just like, well, if I make a planner that teaches them how to plan and then gives them space to plan, then we just do it that way.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, in 2019, I was not gonna bring that planner back because I had the worst production issues ever. Like I was just like, outsourcing printing and all that stuff. And then last year I was trying different avenues of stuff that I wanted to do, whether I wanted to be a speaker or do services and all that stuff. And it kind of always came back to the planner. So
Yeah.
yeah, now
So,
we
like,
at this
what
point.
I know before I go into my question, because you're actually
Yeah.
on it with the production part, but before I go into that, tell us like some specific stuff because I know why. Like, this Gather Your Life is truly getting your life together. She has amazing things in here from to do lists, but also
Mhm.
just ways in which,
Yeah.
hey, you going out, you have ideas, I like get them out your head. There's spaces for you to write down. So just tell us some of the special pieces that you put in there that is more than just our regular degular planner.
Yeah. So, yeah, so the pieces that are part of the planner, so they're in the front of the planner, it's like a guide that teaches you how to segment and how to block schedule. So I can attribute a lot of me being a little more organized to like blocking my schedule off a little bit,
Yeah.
on Google Calendar or whatever. But a lot of women don't know how to do that or didn't know how to do it, especially women that are very career driven like me, have multiple jobs and stuff like that. They just need to know how to make all the pieces work.
Mhm.
So it teaches you how to block schedule. Then I also have a section that it's like a two-step set, what am I saying, system
Okay.
of like how to plan your week, plan your month inside of the planner, and it has examples and things like that. I also have videos that take you through each part of the planner. Then there's a personal section that has like different parts of just ways to keep up with yourself. So like a habit tracker, there is what's your favorite songs and different things like that.
Love that.
And then there's a home section because I think there's a lot of, grind culture, hustle culture, boss culture, where we don't think that we need to take care of our homes.
Yeah.
So until I moved out on my own and was like trying to also keep up with all the things, I was like, oh, I need to figure out a system for keeping up with my house.
Mhm.
And a lot of other ladies felt that way too. So it has like a home cleaning checklist, grocery, meal planner, and stuff like that.
I
So
like
just
that.
ways to kind of keep up with everything in this one planner, because I too was just like you, and I had multiple planners and kept them because I was like, I need all these different things, so this kind of puts it all in
Mhm.
one place.
Yeah,
Love
no, I actually like that. And that's like easy to fit in your purse, like easy.
Mhm.
Not too
Exactly,
heavy.
that.
exactly.
No,
Exactly.
and okay, so we know that you have implemented this. We know that you use it. But so from what I know, just knowing you, I know you're a teacher. I know you're doing this, you're doing your planner. I have watched you from the assembly of the planner to like this girl be out here putting it together, y'all, for y'all. Y'all getting that real black
Homemade.
owned experience. Like we
Yes,
putting this whole thing
with my
together
hands.
and marketing it. Like, how are you balancing it all? Obviously, I know you probably use the planner in itself, but just in life, like, how are you balancing it all?
Yeah, I do a lot of reflecting
Yeah.
on like, things, but also I follow her name is Mia Ray. She's a really big boss chick on Instagram, but she also has products, but the way she does her business model is she does drops. So I kind of learned this from her. But if you think about Jordans and all those different people, they do drops too. You just don't think about it in that way.
Yeah.
But having that a similar business model as that is like, it gives me time to, you know, um, use that in between time to like get myself back on track and together.
Got
Where
it.
in the point where I'm not selling and producing all the time, selling and producing, um so it kind of helps me in the in between time. Like, so this year I'm doing only bi-monthly planner drops. So last
Okay.
month in February I did a drop. I took all of February to make sure everybody's stuff was shipped out, and now I'm in March. Luckily I did not decide to do a planner drop in March, or I would probably be dead because March has been like a long month, but it has given me
Mhm.
enough time to like hire me, realizing that it was going to be a long month, hire somebody to help me with marketing stuff.
Love that.
And then also gives me time to like make sure I order all the things that I need, because things get back ordered. It's still corona outside. So
Right.
Yeah.
it's just a lot of things. So yeah, I just figured out a way to make my business model work best for me, and instead of working in best ways for other people.
Love that. And I love that you even touched on that you brought somebody on to help you with your marketing, because some people, some entrepreneurs, as I would say, or founders, it's kind of hard to like let somebody into your baby. It's like, do I share my
Yeah,
baby with somebody? But the one thing that I noticed while I was going through your page was the marketing, was the content. And of course, with a product, you have to like market it in order to
yeah.
gain traction, in order to
Mm-hmm.
expand and reach out to many people, especially like with this planner community that we just found out. They can't be
Yeah,
your only community. There's people that are outside of that need, to get their life together in terms of planning wise.
right.
So how have you used social media in order to gain more traction to your brand as well as offline? Like what kind of things were
Yeah.
you doing offline as well? Like were you doing that at churches or introduce, like just give us examples.
No, I honestly, social media has been a really big vehicle for me to get,
Mm-hmm.
people to get traffic to my site and stuff like that, because I did it at the end of 2019, not even
Okay.
realizing that 2020 it was going to be a whole pandemic.
Yep.
Whole
So
pandemic.
during 2019, when I could have been shuffling this planner around, I didn't think about it to the end of the year. So,
Mm.
and then at the beginning of 2020, before, everything started going crazy,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't thinking about selling a planner, consistently at all.
Yeah.
So, a lot of what I have done has been just on social media. People, ladies who got the planner even in the last 6 months have been
Mm.
the main people that have been driving people to the page. But also just I started following the product bosses, and they are really more on like the tip of like what you need to do to like sell your product, because a
Okay.
lot of people that are out, they want you to, they're selling services,
Yeah.
and products is totally different. And then just learning from other girl bosses I'm seeing online. But reels has been a big thing. When reels came about, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And
Of
then I
course.
was just like, I tried one, and then it just like flew. And I was like,
Yeah.
what in the world is this?
Yeah,
So I was just like,
how many did you get from that? Because I remember when we were talking about it, like this is
yeah.
the queen of reels. She even did like a tutorial because homegirl got this down.
Talented.
Um, yeah, I did reels. My first reel definitely hit like 1K the first time, and I was definitely confused because I was at the time, I think I had like 1,500 followers. So I'm just like, I know for sure it's not just people I'm following. And then I started just learning more, just, dipping into different social media channels, listening to a good key too for any founders is also listening to what
Mm-hmm.
influencers are doing. So, because most of the time what influencers are doing also will work for your business.
Yeah.
So, listening to what ideas and things they had, just, staying true to like trends and stuff like that was also helpful. But yeah, Reels was definitely a booster. Also, just like also another thing I did last year that was kind of offline but not really, was just like doing workshops for people, because at one point I was going to do services and I was going to do speaking. So a lot of the traffic and followers and stuff too also came from being on other people's platforms. I did a
Okay.
lot of that in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
which is something I wanted to do anyway, but I had no idea I would be doing it on the computer from my house.
No, I don't
But
think
yeah.
any of us do that.
Listen.
Right. So by the
Exactly.
time the planners came out, it would just made it easier for people to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they saw that, they were coming and going, then like they were just like, oh crap, now I need to get it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
yeah,
definitely saw it and you sold out, child. So
exactly.
you out
Surprise
here.
myself. Well, surprise myself. I'm like, oh Lord, that means now I gotta keep doing this. Like, oh
Okay. Going into like just even talking about how you are sold out, I know that you were kind of going with the target audience of women and working women and
hmm
like, career driven, just having a lot going on. And we're really big in this time with the whole women empowerment. Like we're
Right.
seeing gradually, we're pushing the needle. We have a lot of platforms. I met you on iFund Women of Color, and that has just been an amazing platform that's really helped us to get together weekly, you
Right.
know, where, and you're in Durham and I'm
Right.
in Florida. so,
Exactly.
so you know, it's been amazing to meet more people. So we do this thing called Put Us On. And I know that you were
Mhm.
kind of telling us that you do the reels and all of that. But is there any other maybe platforms? I know you already put us on with the planner community, but any other of those women empowerment communities that you've been a part of or even found out about, where we can have more of the women that are listening and even the men too, that
Yeah.
you can be part of a community that can help you push you
Yeah.
forward?
Yeah, the good thing about 2020 was that I was able to like dibble and dabble in all of these different communities, and like without leaving my house, and also get to know, a lot of different people from around the US, around the world. But there's a few that I've used that have been really helpful to me, even if I didn't stick around, you know.
Right.
So, one is that I'm currently doing right now, but it's very helpful. If you have a product-based business, because just FYI, product-based business and service business is totally different. So, one of them is the product bosses. So they are two women. They both have and have had their own product-based businesses, and they essentially teach you basically all of the back end, everything you should have on your website, everything you should have like as far as operation goes and all that. So they've been really helpful for me, and they have a podcast that's really good to listen to.
Great.
Nice.
And then also, and then Rachel Rogers, she is a Black woman millionaire. She actually lives in Greensboro in North Carolina here, and owns this huge ranch. But she has a company called Hello Seven, where she teaches women how to who are more service based, how to get to seven figures. So I was in that group for a minute, but it was very helpful for me because it helped kind of unlock my money mindset around, and that's like the beginning of her thing. It's like something you have to go through. It's just like about your money mindset, basically, because it's like we don't need you to stick around if you gonna have this, craziness in your mind. So
Yeah, that limited thinking.
right. So that's definitely has been helpful for me to learn just a little bit more about, why am I doing this? Why would I want to even hit seven figures? Do I think I'm worthy of having seven figures? If I don't, why don't I think, all those different
Right.
things. So that's been helpful. Yeah, somebody I've known for a while, but she has been maneuvering her membership is Purpose to Service. Alicia Robertson, her name on Instagram, I think is Alicia Nicole. But I've known her for a long time. She helped me with my blog in college. And now she works as far as like making sure and she calls them intentional entrepreneurs. So ladies that are really like about building your business without the burnout. So being in that group, even though I don't have a service-based business, has definitely been helpful because it helps me with my like foundation of like the business as a whole. And then I think I mentioned her before, but Mia Ray, even though she doesn't have like a full platform, but she has a product-based business. So just watching her on her Instagram, just, maneuvering through all of the different day-to-day things is definitely a lesson for me, watching her, figure out her operations, how her drops go, and all those different things has helped me figure out what best ways to run my business. And she's not using any fancy vernacular or anything like that. She's very relatable. Yeah. And it's just like, you got to do this. If you want to market, you don't need a photographer. Here's how you do it, type thing. Like this is what I did, just kind of learn from me, type thing. So being, in those different spaces, like all those people I mentioned are on very different parts of the spectrum, but they definitely have been helpful in like, shaping my business.
That's
You definitely
amazing.
put us on, girl.
She did.
And I love that last one of even just finding resources in which you can do for yourself. Because
Right.
I think especially with just how everything is so internet based now. It's
Yeah.
hard for us to feel like we can do it by ourselves. We feel like we got to get the makeup artist and we got to get the
Mm-hmm.
photographer and we got to get
True.
all of this stuff together and the website
Right.
designer and the graphic designer. And it's like, let me tell you, Canva been my best friend. We, like,
Hallelujah. Same.
right.
I pay
So
my
this,
$12.99 a month, and that's what I use.
Listen,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
but
I love that.
you know what I was gonna say too? It's just also like amazing that you could share a story like that, because a lot of people over, like, I think even when the world was open, they're like, oh, I have to wait for, for the photographer to be available, for me to have the funds
Mm-hmm.
to book a makeup art or like all those other services. And it's like sometimes, like with the pandemic, when you cannot go anywhere and you have this idea, you just
Yes.
start working on it until you get to wherever you
Mm-hmm.
want to be, and then you could get those additional help, like even the marketing person that you hired on. You didn't wait till them to start for
Yeah.
you to start working on your brand. So that's really amazing.
And I only use them for my pictures and stuff. I was only using them for, some of my base pictures, but
Yeah.
still like all the day-to-day reels and stuff like that, I was
It's
making
you.
those. And then the person that I hired for my marketing, I hired her and she reached out to me because
Mm,
she has a Gather Your Life planner. So
okay.
she asked,
Wow.
could she help? And I was like, yeah.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
you can actually.
That is a
Actually, yeah.
blessing in disguise. No, that is a
Amen. It
blessing.
is. It really is. Yeah.
Yes, but I definitely want to end off on this note.
Mhm.
It's so dark over here right now, so don't mind me. But
It's fine. That's why I got all these lights over
I
here.
know.
but I definitely want to hit the self-care point. We always do this on our podcast, and as a fellow planner that's not in the official community, but as a fellow planner, I know how you could plan your whole life out and forget the self-care. But
Right.
I know you are the self-care, well, planner queen, so I'll give you
I
that
try.
title. But I want to know, like, we want to know, what does your self-care look like, and what does it entail, and how do you fit it into your, life planning, if anything?
Sometimes it can be a struggle, but my main thing is no matter what is happening around me, I'm gonna go to bed.
Mm.
Okay, girl.
I will go to sleep. Okay. If you ask any of my friends, even in college, if we decided somebody gonna be stuck somewhere, I'm like, somebody better figure out how Bria gonna get home because
Mhm.
I'm going to bed. But yeah, sleep is definitely my terms of self-care. It's like I don't care what I'm doing, I'm going to sleep. Because 9 times out
Okay.
of 10, whatever I'm working on is gonna get jacked up anyway. So
Yep.
I just go to bed. And another thing is I call it a form of self-care, but sometimes I just go and just roam the aisles of Target.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tarjay.
Nothing,
Girl.
look, nothing fancy, but
Let me
And
tell you,
spending
sometimes
that
I can
money.
make you so happy sometimes. I literally went, especially
yes.
that $3 like lane
Oh
right
Right.
there.
yeah.
I bought another the other day. I bought like a little basil in a pot, and now it's growing. And I'm like, oh my god, that was just
See, think
$3.
about it. If you didn't go to Target, you wouldn't have even felt that emotion from the inside.
Exactly.
No, but I'm gonna chime in and say Target in New York is not the same Target that y'all
It's
have
not.
out there. Because I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and we went into Target at 8 a.m. and it was so empty. I was like, oh, so this how Targets be outside of the country.
Yeah.
It's actually way
Yeah.
nicer. So
And well, it depends on the times you go here. If you go some like during earlier in the day, then yeah. But like around time when people getting off, don't go there.
Yeah.
that is stress.
Mm-mm.
But this has been amazing, Bria. Obviously, you are
Yes.
a rock star, and I'm so like just even
Thank
happy
you.
to have met you. You guys, I'm gonna let her drop all the information about the Gather Your Life Planner. I know right now it's a little sold out, but I know she got some drops like Jordan coming out. Okay, so tell us tell us a little bit.
Drops like Jordan, Ashley.
Because like
I'm
she y'all
gonna
got
use it.
that stuck. Like that is amazing. That's genius. Like they out here in
Yeah.
these lives getting these Jordans. Y'all better get out of your
Exactly.
life and get this planner. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Content right there.
It, but yeah, the next planner drop is April of the 11th.
Okay.
So that is the next time you can get a planner. This will be an exclusive color. So every drop is a different color.
Okay.
So different color cover. So
Love it.
this next drop will be like exclusive. Then that'll be the last run of those. So once those are
Okay.
gone, they're gone. And then,
Indeed.
we be back again in June.
So where can they
Yeah.
Instagram, website, where they can
Yes.
up at?
So my website is bybrialyn.com. And then my Instagram is bybrialyn. My Twitter, I don't be talking about anything, but if y'all want to follow me over there, go ahead. BriaLynn as well. So BriaLynn everywhere.
Yes, and we thank you again. You guys already know we're gonna be dropping this web. Oh my God, this website. We're gonna be dropping this episode this Wednesday, and we drop every other Wednesday. Follow us on YouTube. We got
Yes.
the visuals for y'all now. Y'all can see our faces.
Exactly. Even though I'm talking, I can still see the side of my face.
Right. With the little light, you
Right.
got it. So definitely, but we're also streaming on all your platforms. So go ahead, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify. We got y'all. Go ahead and go on there. And then we'll be coming back in a week and a half with a new episode. I think me and Ty gonna do it with just us this time.
Yes.
We missed y'all. We've been having some amazing features, and we're lucky to have closed out Women's Month with Bria and her amazing planner. So we will definitely shout out the next guest. But go ahead, Ty, close us out.
Yes. So guys, Ashley did say you can now watch us on YouTube. So make sure you catch up on our last episodes on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at Series of Conversations. You can follow me at Taikem, Taikem.
And then you can follow me at Ashley Michelle Miller, and always follow Koi3 at KOI_THREE. And this is Series of Conversations. Bye.